Hello friends, and how are you? We just had a big snowstorm yesterday, so I thought today a great book to read would be One Winter's Day. This story is written by M. Christina Butler and it's illustrated by Tina McNaughton. One Winter's Day. Ooh, we can see the wind is blowing, the snow is coming down. Little Hedgehog was making her bed for winter when a sudden gust of wind blew him off his feet. It took hold of his cozy nest and tossed it high into the air. Little Hedgehog trembled as the wind whistled around him, and he wondered what he would do. He caught hold of his scarf, hat, and mittens before they blew away, and tried to find shelter under the tree roots. But wherever he went, the wind blew there as well. "We'll have to stay with Badger until the storm has gone," he said at last, pulling his woolly hat fully over his prickles. Then he snuggled into his cozy scarf, put on his mittens, and with a deep breath, he set off. The wind was even stronger in the meadow. Leaves swirled here and there, and snowflakes filled the air. Little Hedgehog hadn't gone far when he bumped into a family of field mice shivering in the long grass. "I've never known such a storm," squeaked Mother Mouse. "The wind has blown our nest away. My poor babies are so cold." "My home has blown away as well," said Little Hedgehog. "I'm on my way to stay with Badger. But I have just the thing to warm you up." And he took off his woolly hat and gave it to the mice. "Oh, lovely, lovely," they squeaked, snuggling down out of the wind. "Thank you, Little Hedgehog." How kind of Hedgehog to share his hat with the family of mice who were so cold. Little Hedgehog tucked his nose inside his scarf and ran along beside the racing river. Otter was on the bank, huffing and puffing on his paws. "Hello, Otter," said Little Hedgehog. "What are you doing?" "Oh, hello, Hedgehog," replied Otter. "My fur keeps me warm, but my paws are freezing." What do you think Hedgehog will do? Do you think he will help his friend? "Here, have these," said Little Hedgehog, giving Otter his mittens. "They should do the trick." "Thank you, Little Hedgehog," said Otter. "These are great. But shouldn't you be at home in this cold weather?" "I have no home anymore," said Little Hedgehog sadly. "The wind has blown it away." And running on, he cried, "I am going to stay with Badger." By the time Little Hedgehog reached the woods, the snow was getting deeper, and on he struggled, picking his way between the snowdrifts as the wind howled around him. And we can see how the illustrator made these wonderful action lines so we can almost feel and hear the wind howling around poor Little Hedgehog. A mother deer and her fawn were sheltering in the bushes. "Oh, Little Hedgehog, why aren't you in your nest in this awful storm?" she asked. So Little Hedgehog told Mother Deer about his nest blowing away. But as he spoke, he saw that Little Fawn was shaking with cold. "Here, take this," he said, giving the fawn his scarf. "How kind you are," said Mother Deer, "and thank you, Little Hedgehog." Does Little Hedgehog have anything left, friends, to help him to stay warm? That's right, he's given it all away to others who were in need. Little Hedgehog pattered on, faster and faster, but just as he finally saw Badger's house at the bottom of the hill, he skidded on an icy path. "Help!" he cried as he went bumping and bouncing through the snow. So now, Can you see those action lines? This is him rolling down the hill. It looks like he's turning into a hedgehog snowball. Badger was making tea when he heard a big thud outside. What was that? He cried, dropping his toast. When he opened a door quickly, a prickly snowball rolled in. Gracious me, he said in surprise. It's Little Hedgehog. Badger carried Little Hedgehog to an armchair by the fire and gave him a cup of tea. Little Hedgehog told Badger about his journey through the storm, and then, cozy and warm, he fell fast asleep. Little Hedgehog stayed with Badger until the storm had gone, and as they walked to where his house had been, Little Hedgehog was very worried. How can I build a strong new nest if all the leaves and twigs have blown away and there's nothing left? He asked anxiously. I'll help you, said Badger kindly. We're nearly there now. Do you see who I see peeking in the corner? Who's this, friends? That's right, it's the little mouse. Surprise! Came the cry when they turned the corner. Little Hedgehog gasped with delight. The animals he'd met in the storm had made him the coziest nest he'd ever seen. For the kindest hedgehog in the world, they all cried together. Look how they built him a nest. And look, they all returned the materials that he had shared with them. And now he's ready for another stormy day. Boys and girls, I want you to see if you can try and remember all the animals that Little Hedgehog helped in this story. Can you remember which animal he helped first? Who did he meet second? And then who was the last animal family that he helped by sharing his warm things to keep those other animals happy? If you can remember, I would like you to try and draw a picture. You could even put a number 1 and then draw the first animal that he helps. And then below that, underneath it, you can put a number 2 and you can write and draw the next animal that he helped. And then you'll put a number 2, one more is 3. You'll put a number 3 and you'll draw and write about the next animal that he helped. And if you're a kinderwriter who's ready for a little bit more, you can even write and sound out with your kinder skills. First, he gave say the animal, his, and then tell us what he shared first. So you'll say first, the animal that he helped and what hedgehog let them borrow to keep warm. And then you'll say next, and then you'll tell us the second animal that he helped and what hedgehog gave. Next, he gave and you'll say the animal, and then what he shared of his. And then you can say last, you stretch that out with your kinder writing sounds. Last, he gave and you'll say the animal and the item that Little Hedgehog shared. All right, see if you can remember the sequence of events. That's one of the things we're working on as kinder readers. All right, see you in the next book, friends.